Every bit of money that you invest or save is buying a piece of your future.
Yeah, that's right.
And every bit of debt that you take on is selling a piece of your future.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that balance right, what you end up with is you turn around and all of a sudden you realize you've sold your entire future.
Yeah.
Yes. For what? Because if kids have to learn, what does dad think about this? What does dad think about this? And then when dad's gone, what use is that?
Yeah.
But if they can learn some core principles, and workplaces are the same, some core principles of how you think and how we make decisions, then every so often there'll be like a correction, but it'll be minor.
Welcome back, man.
Cheers.
It's great to have you back. It's been a bit.
It's been a decent fall from whiskey, but...
Yeah, we're drinking the Almighty. Hey, Almighty.
You trying to sponsor
this podcast, damn
it. Maybe next time. How have you been?
Been good. I've been taking it slower coming into Christmas, which is a new experience.
So. Yeah, so we are 9 days
from Christmas,
something like that.
Yeah,
nearly there.
Yeah, nearly there, man.
I was going to say 7 days from Christmas.
Amazing
for the young ones.
Yeah, for the 6, 7.
Yeah.
How do you use 6, 7? Like the other night, something awesome happened at home, and I was like, "Oh, that's so 6, 7."
No, you can't use it like that.
No,
that doesn't work at all.
No, but in my mind, I'm just trying to.
I think it's more just like 6. So here's the thing. I reckon the reason it's taken off, I don't know how the original thing happened with the guy. I know that he was doing this or something like 6, 7. I don't know. But the reason it's taken off is because there's so many real life uses of 6 and 7. Like, what time should we do dinner? 6, 7, and so people go, 6, 7. And then it's like, what time am I going to get up in the morning? 6, 7.
Right.
So many things are 6 or 7. And so I think that's what's led to it taking off.
So how do you use it?
Do you know how you use it?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I think what happens is just whenever you hear it,
you meant to laugh.
You laugh. Does that sound right? I don't think there's a way you use it.
But if we try to use it, that will embarrass our kids and ourselves.
So the way you tried to use it, that's a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do that more.
Yeah.
I feel like
playing with my mic.
Is that what you're doing?
I was
6, 7.
Yeah. Apologies for the scratchy noises I probably just made.
So, mate, you have just come back from Cambodia.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was really cool. So took my wife over and a couple of others.
That Go Generosity?
No. But shout out to Go Generosity.
No, that's something completely unrelated. Shout out to you guys.
Rowan and the team. You guys do a good job.
It's Go something? No.
No.
I should know what it is.
Yeah.
It's got a G in it.
We've only just met, so I'm not surprised. But no, Good Trust. So
it had a G in it.
So Good Trust. Friend Andrew Nicol and I started Good Trust in 2008, right at the beginning of the global financial crisis. The business we were running was turning to custard, so we thought we should start a charity.
Nice.
Not for our own benefit, but we just needed something to take our minds off the stuff that was unfolding in our day jobs.
Right.
No, we neither of us had ever been to a third world country, but
New Zealand's close. But
sure. I did hear once that Alanis Morissette played a concert for free in Auckland because she thought it was a third world country.
That's so good.
It's a little ironic.
Do you think we should call New Zealand No Zealand?
It's supposed to be
funny. I moved on to my joke. Rather than calling it New Zealand, we could call it No Zealand.
Why?
Just because the government says no to everything.
Yeah. It's cool.
Anyway, back to your story. It wasn't my joke. I stole it from someone. It didn't work, yeah? No, carry on.
6,
7.
Yeah. So anyway, so we started Good Trust, and we hadn't been to a third world country, but we'd both read books about kind of poverty and stuff, and the amount of people without clean water and
poverty and stuff.
Yeah. And so we started it. And what was funny is we initially just kind of funded water projects wherever.
Right.
So we funded water projects in Kenya, Honduras, Liberia, Thailand, and Cambodia. And we kept planning trips to go over to Kenya to see these wells that we'd funded through partners, and never went because every time we went to do it, we realized the cost of doing that was going to be like the equivalent of doing more projects. So we just fund more projects.
Yeah.
And Good Trust is a 100% charity. So
Yeah.
inspired by another charity in the States that does the same thing. So we have this, right from the beginning, this rule that every dollar that comes in goes directly to the project. So we have no administration costs
Great.
at all.
This is from selling coffee beans and
It's a
stuff?
whole bunch of things that we do.
Okay.
So we have donations come in through like the website. We have coffee beans that we sell into cafes and stuff. We have music that's been produced and we technically own.
Wow.
And we run events.
Do you
and
produce
stuff.
it?
Yeah, I'm an amazing singer. No, others like local artists like Luke Thompson and people like him. So
awesome.
yeah, so it's been a cool journey in that sense. And things like accounting fees or travel, like if we take a trip over, we pay for all of that ourselves to make sure that donors see every dollar go to the project.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the end we went to Cambodia on a trip in like 2011, 12. And we were so kind of taken by the impact over there and the people, we just went, let's just focus everything from now on Cambodia until Cambodia is done, until every person in Cambodia has clean water, hygiene, sanitation.
Brilliant.
And it's amazing the progress, not just from us, but from everybody that's been involved in these things. This is actually interesting. I've gone on a real rant now.
I like it. Keep going.
One of the things that blows me away about kind of incentivizing people to action is we like to show people what's wrong.
Yes.
But actually sometimes what's motivational is what's right and what's been achieved already. So
like
here's
that.
a couple of things that blow my mind about poverty. Do you remember Judy Bailey when we were like younger? Judy Bailey,
newsreader,
mother of the nation.
Yeah.
She'd sit on these like World Vision ads and she'd have like flies flying around her and holding like a little kid in the third world, whatever. And constantly they would tell us 40,000 children are dying per day of preventable hunger and disease. We were hearing that all the time.
Yeah.
That number now is like more like 12 or 13,000 or something like that kids per day.
Wow.
So, which is terrible, but that's what's been achieved. When we started Good Trust, 1.2 billion people didn't have access to clean water in the world.
Right.
Now that number is more like 600 million.
Wow.
So it's like halved. That's how much we've done. No, it's not what we've done, but it's how much has been achieved in that period of time.
Yeah.
And so I find that more motivational because I'm like, we're not trying to put water into a leaky bucket. When people give into these projects through Good Trust or World Vision or Tier Fund or anybody, what they're actually doing is contributing towards a movement that is going to end extreme poverty.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really meaningful.
That's so meaningful.
Yeah.
So that's called Good Trust. Has it got a website?
It sort of does. So, so we have always had a website. Our website's actually down at the moment because we're replacing it with a new one.
Right.
But yeah. So we do have like a Give a Little and stuff. But early next year in 2026, we're going to be doing a bit of a campaign for three more villages that have been identified that we can fund in Cambodia. We've just funded 2. So yesterday I actually paid for 2 villages that will get water between now and February.
Nice.
There's another 3 we want to do, which we need to raise money for. And so we'll be putting stuff out about that in the new year.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's been pretty cool. And so this trip we visited 2 villages that got projects from Good Trust in 2022. And saw the impact of those, which is typically a industrial biosand filter, a bore and latrines for the kids to use at the school, and an incinerator, and a hand washing station and stuff as well. And then we also visited 2 schools that don't have anything, where we're going to, which we've just funded. So. Cool to see kind of the before and after of those projects.
Nice. And how important is power? Do they have to have your systems that need power? Is it all manual?
Generally, they don't. So a lot of them, there's some solar power for some of them. They do have power in some of these communities though. So often the pumps will run on power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the schools. We tend to have projects that are based in schools now, and most of them do have power and have lights and fans and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But it was cool to take a little crew over and show them around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well done. It's so good. I often think about power, and there's there's this idea that the importance of power, access to power, and how it can draw people out of poverty.
Yeah.
And my great hope with AI and its hunger, its need for a great deal of power,
Yeah.
is that it's going to cause nations, rather selfishly, to increase their power supply,
Yeah.
and therefore reduce the cost of power,
Yeah.
and therefore make life more livable, I
Yeah.
guess, and affordable for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think so a lot of, you get a country like Cambodia, a lot of their power is imported from Laos and Thailand and stuff, which is not great either.
So like diesel or...
No, just like literally lines over the border.
Right.
But when you see things like the sort of war that's been breaking out between Thailand and Cambodia at the moment, having Cambodia be dependent on a neighbour is pretty bad.
Bad idea.
But what's interesting for me is, power is not hard to produce, and the world produces more power than it requires. The issue is storage.
Yes.
Because if we can't store it, we can't produce it at the right times. And I think that's where I genuinely believe AI will solve storage, because batteries are just such an inefficient and expensive way to store power currently.
How will AI solve storage?
I just think, I look at it and go, what have we achieved so far as humanity?
Yeah.
And I go, if you gave us another 100,000 years
Yes.
of thought and energy, what would we solve storage?
Yeah.
I go, we would.
Yeah.
And so the promise of AI is that AI will be able to apply that kind of 100,000 years of thinking in weeks or days or months or whatever. And so I think that as they point it towards that problem and it gets more advanced, I think it'll just solve it.
If it can, it needs to start thinking creatively, and being able to look at a whole bunch of science and stuff and be able to draw conclusions.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're anywhere near that at the moment.
No, and I think that's where a lot of our sort of challenges that we have will get solved is by AI being able to apply just incredible amounts of thought to things.
Man, has AI transformed the way you work this year? Yet or not?
No, not really.
Okay.
So I would say there are some sort of reporting at the end of projects that I do using AI, where I'll get the saying about the sort of shitty first draft. That's what Brene Brown talks about when you're writing something.
Yeah.
I'll often get AI to do kind of the shitty first draft, and then I'll refine it from there. That's about it. What about you? I'm not using it as much as I should be.
Yeah, well, I've got, and I'm not sponsored by these guys. Is that in my pocket? I wasn't planning on talking about this. Oh, I got a mic in that pocket.
While you do that, so Mighty makes sparkling water that is quite a, we drink it all the time. We've replaced whiskey with sparkling water thanks to Almighty. Almighty.
Thank you for that product placement. We're talking about product placements. I've got, and I don't have to mention the name potentially, but this is an AI recorder, and it just connects to your phone like that. So it's just on the back of my phone.
And does it smash the back of your phone?
My phone is very smashed, isn't it? This I need an upgrade. But I use it in my meetings. So you know how typically when I'm running meetings, and this is the way I sort of engage with my team, is I try to come in and make an impact, help them focus on what needs to be focused on, that kind of stuff. Have a broader, very sort of broad agenda, and then anyway. But the problem is, my 2IC who's in there, she will often be the one sort of typing the minutes, and so she's not really focusing on the meeting. And so this thing's great for minute taking.
Have a look at it.
Yeah.
How good is it?
It's very good.
So it's accurate?
Yeah, so you can choose how you want the data out of. So you have a bunch of different templates you can use to record. So you get the transcript, but then you can specify how the actions spit out to you.
And it's turned off right now?
It's on, but it's not recording. So I can just tap record on there, or you can hit a button on the back of it.
And what's the kind of cost?
That's about $250 New Zealand dollars.
And then a subscription, or?
Yeah, about that again per year in subscription for minutes of recording. And that's an unlimited plan. So for me, I'm definitely getting that value. because I'm got one person in the meeting that's no longer having to record the minutes. We're still doing a little bit of work afterwards to clean it up, but you can actually ask the AI specific questions around, and you can dig into the whole transcript to pull out certain points. And we use a program called Evernote to permanently record all our key. I don't know how to describe. We use Evernote, but so then we're taking the actions and putting them in Evernote. So I've got a permanent record of those things.
Cool.
So that's fantastic. And I'm using another. You know how Siri's completely useless, really?
Yeah, terrible.
Like I can't believe
It's
how
fallen so far behind.
Yeah, Siri is basically dysfunctional. So there's another app I'm using, and it's early days, but it's called Whisper Flow.
Oh, I love Whisper Flow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, I use Whisper Flow all the time.
And that's great. And so that, although there's a little bit of, you've got to keep giving it approval.
Yeah. But they'll integrate it better.
Yeah.
So Whisper Flow, for anyone who hasn't come across it, it's just what dictation always promised to be.
Yeah.
But even more than that. So instead of using your keyboard to tap something out on your phone or on your MacBook or whatever, you can just say it. But you can talk normally because it gets rid of ums, ahs, that sort of stuff. And if you're talking, if I go like, tell Mike I'll see him on Thursday, not Thursday, Wednesday, then it will just say, I'll see you Wednesday.
Correct.
Like it gets rid of all of the errors.
Yeah.
And then it also structures, like if you're doing an email, it structures the email properly. Like it'll go, hey Mike, comma, enter, paragraph, kind of, comma, enter, regards. You know, like everything is just structured correctly. I think it's amazing.
It is. And it integrates with all your apps on your phone and your computer. So messaging. Yeah. So I'm tending to be texting from using Whisper Flow. Yeah. And emails most of the time, some of the time. Yeah.
No, it's excellent. Yeah. And they call it Whisper because you can literally whisper. You don't have to pronounce things properly. Like you can grab your phone and be like, send a message to Mike, you know, and it doesn't wake your wife up. So
never tried that.
That's why I message you at night. Just
I wonder why you message middle of the night. But Siri should be doing that, right? Yeah. Siri should be there already. I can't believe that they haven't.
They need to buy some things if they can't do it themselves. Buy Whisper Flow, buy whatever.
Yeah, exactly. When you look at their market cap, they just should be able to buy whatever they want.
They've got the cash. So.
Yeah. So I feel like
and AI has changed my life in my car.
But yes, so you fully
because I don't really drive anymore.
Right.
So since late September, I reckon I've done 5,000 Ks now because I do quite a bit of driving. Open road, so here to Wellington and back, here to Auckland and back, as well as like around town and in Auckland City and everything, with not driving. So last weekend when your daughter came with us to Auckland, I didn't drive there or back. I just sat there and observed as the car drove itself.
Did you have any stress points there? Some moments where I didn't see the road cones, or
no, nothing like that. I mean, sometimes it'll. You know a road and it sort of starts to take the wrong lane and you think, but that's often because it's not painted well and and if I hadn't driven the road before, I'd probably make the same mistake. Yeah. And if you let it be, it'll figure that out and it'll figure it out. But yeah, no, it's so much more relaxing and I just find I don't get fatigued. Yeah. Because I'm not consciously focused on the road. I'm sort of able to just sit back and enjoy the ride.
That's a significant gain, that
massive
AI. That's, I was thinking, I was at an airport the other day and looking down at all the baggage carriers and all the different machines delivering food and fuel and all the different people, and you think, man, that's how many years are we away from all that being robots and AI? Yeah,
and I think the big shift point feels like it's going to be humanoid robots because at the moment, you need a special purpose robot, and it's so expensive. Like I think about the kiwifruit industry, which is big around here. And in the kiwifruit industry, you've got these people who have tried for years to develop big kind of robots that are purpose-built to pick kiwifruit. Yeah. But it's so expensive to do that, and then they're somewhat effective. Yeah. Whereas the moment that you've got a robot that looks like a human and can do what a human can do and has the same kind of abilities,
mobility in the hand,
that unlocks everything.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's no thing that we can do at that point
Yeah.
that it couldn't be trained to do.
Because all our spaces, I don't know whether you've said this before or whether I've heard it from someone else, but all our environment is designed around the humanoid shape, eh?
Yeah.
Like even kiwifruit, the height of the canopy, it's all based around the average height person, I guess.
Yeah.
Your son's doing kiwifruit at the moment. He's probably far too tall to be under the canopy, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually messaged me this morning and said he's enjoying today because he's doing something different. He's like taking photos of fruit and stuff for scanning, and
wow,
so he's kind of involved in a little bit of tech and AI today.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're nearly at the end of the year. What's been your biggest surprise or learning for this year?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Too big a question for the unprepared question, probably.
No, it's good. I don't know. I think there's always evolving views of, because you and I are both involved in organizations
Yeah.
and leadership and stuff. And leadership's this weird concept because you're just a person who was a follower and was a worker and still is, usually a follower of someone and a worker, and
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you have this kind of additional duty where you're seen as the leader, and where in some ways more of the organization's potential is in your hands. And I've been observing in the businesses I'm involved in kind of more and more of this tricky dynamic where people want to be empowered, but what they mean by that is that they want their boss to stay out of their space completely. And so they say in interviews and stuff, they'll go, I don't want to be micromanaged. And the boss will go, cool. I don't like to micromanage, right?
Yeah.
But that autonomy, giving a person autonomy takes time. And so they come on board and they expect to just get left to their own devices. But the reality is that the boss or the manager or you as the leader is going, I need to see some travel. I need to travel some time watching how you make decisions, how you think, how your instincts function, so that I can release more to you.
Yeah.
And then, I will give you heaps and heaps of autonomy. But if things start to become a concern at some point, or there's some red flags and some issues that are arising, then I'll dive in again.
Yeah.
And that behavior of the leader not giving full autonomy from day one and sometimes stepping in later seems to be almost getting viewed as like culturally wrong, like that the leader should just stay out of it. I don't personally buy into that. So it's been something I've been wrestling with a bit this year. Interested in your thoughts on it.
Well, I've been on a interesting little journey with this as well, because over the last maybe month to 6 weeks, I've been trying to pace myself at the speed that my staff are able to execute what we need to execute on. And what I mean by that is, rather than me activating stuff and keep chucking stuff on them, is they know what they need to be working on. We've clarified that, and together, so they've been involved in that. And then I'm not fretting during the week. I'm waiting for a certain time the next week, and we're going back to that list.
Right.
And what I've realised is they're still not keeping up with me.
Yeah.
Or they're not keeping up with the tasks still aren't being done fast and, in my view, fast enough. So it's kind of connected. I'm trying to connect that to what you've just said, because they're trying to be empowered. They want the freedom to say, let me do the job. And so I'm saying, yep, well, here's, and we're defining what that is together. And they're agreeing that, this is the stuff I need to work on. And in the past, I would just keep throwing new stuff at them, I think.
And probably check in
all the time.
a couple
all
of
the
times
time.
each day and go like, and they'd go, oh, I haven't really moved on that yet, and go, oh, well, what's it going to take tomorrow to get that? Those kinds of constant check-ins, which again is not popular. But then there's just, sorry.
So worse than that, and so I hope you hold that thought, because I would get to work super early.
Yeah.
I would get to work 2 to 3 hours before those guys.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm thinking about this stuff for 2 to 3 hours. So by the time they get to work, I'm like, hey, what's I'm pushing hard and I'm anxious and and they're just like, shoot me days. And so I'm getting wound up. And so it's helping me realize what they can actually cope with and the speed that they can actually move at. And that's my limiting factor for the business, not me. So I've then got to deal with the issue of how do I help them move? Do I need more people? Do I need better people? You know what I mean? Like I've got to be thinking about all of those kind of things. So it's been really helpful for me just to empower them, but to hold them to a higher count, I guess is what I would. You can't not do the higher count without, you can't empower without the higher accountability.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something I loved, and I think he got it somewhere else as well. But a guy, Andrew Nichol, that I used to work for, he had a rule that he called 51-100, which was he went, what empowerment looks like here is some things I won't empower you with fully because I actually want to retain control over that project. But the things I empower you with, what that looks like is 51-100, which is I'll give you 51% control of it if you take 100% of the responsibility.
Yeah, right.
So making it really clear this is your thing. 51% means you can make a decision.
Yeah.
You can, even in some cases, overpower, or not overpower, but override what I think. But I've got 49%. So if I've got 49%, you should talk to me about it because I'm a significant stakeholder.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can make a call.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite valuable because it made it clear from the beginning that he wasn't out of the loop.
Yeah.
He wanted to be in the loop, but he wanted me to see it as something I was owning, and he wanted me to take on the responsibility of it so that I'd be responsible for delivery. I think it's really valuable.
So how much onboarding is needed before you can do that? With new staff, you can't give them 51 at the start.
No, and I think sometimes that's the expectation.
Yeah, and the mistake that you do it.
And I think leaders at every level have to own the results of everything that sits underneath them.
Yes, 100%.
And they can't hide behind, and certainly I know as a director of businesses, I can't hide behind, but that's the CEO's job, or that was the CFO's job, or whatever, because my job is to monitor those activities. So I think initially my job is to make sure those activities are in hand when you're getting to know the person. Once you have trust and you know they've got it, you're still responsible for monitoring it and then jumping in when you see concerns.
Yeah.
And I think as a person under authority, the job is to never be defensive.
Yeah.
Like if somebody asks a question or dives in on something, you go like, cool, what do you need to see? And openly answer it.
Yeah.
Because the minute, you'd have this as well, the minute someone goes like, I should just leave that, like that, I've got that, you just leave it. You go, okay, should I? Or is that actually a signal that I should dive in harder?
Yeah. Well, what I'm asking for, rightly or wrongly, is dashboards.
Yeah.
So we use a thing called Gecko Board.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that?
No.
It's a really, man, we're promoting all the products.
We are.
Brought to you by Almighty Gecko Board and this AI thing.
When I'm having a long day on a podcast.
Gecko Board, I reckon, is one of the better dashboard systems, and you can integrate it with anything pretty much, like all your CRMs, your Google Drive, that kind of stuff. And so you can say, I want to see the amount of leads coming in per day. I want to see each by market, or I want to see the amount of profitability. Anything you can imagine you'd want to see, you can see it.
Yeah.
So I'm asking my sales guys and my production guys to all, I'm helping them work out what I want to see.
Yeah.
So that when they say leave it with me, I still know I can look, and each week I go, okay, they're on it or they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's your responsibility.
I have to be, you're right. I can never not be on, know that they're doing the key things that they've been tasked to do.
Yeah. So it's interesting culturally because I think I see a lot of leaders who are sort of being pushed into the corner a bit by their teams because the teams are kind of implying, you're overreaching Like you're
Interesting.
supposed to stay in your seat
Yeah.
and let me do my job.
Wow.
And I think it's a really important part of organizational culture right now for us to be going, actually, let's set the tone here and the expectation, which is that I desire to give you autonomy and empower you. And I will dive in whenever I feel like I need to. And what's more, early on, particularly when you're in a new role or you've just joined the organization, there's going to be a period of time where you're going to feel like I'm all up in your things because I need to make sure that it's well held.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility. And I expect you to do the same with the people you lead, because I want you to get the most out of them and give them autonomy, but it all needs to be with you still being clear that I'm holding you accountable for their outcomes,
I do know. And I think each business is the same. What I was going to say was there's a process that we have for selling a fire. And we actually don't sell. We're all about relationships and stuff. We're not like a car yard or something. But we know that, for example, we have a response time to when an inquiry comes in.
Yeah.
And we know that if we let our email inbox get out of control, that we start to miss inquiries.
Yeah.
So we know that that if the inbox, we don't have, by a certain time each day that our inbox isn't clean and clear, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? I know in the factory, if the fires for the next week's production aren't brought in on a Friday, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because it means that they got behind the week before.
Yeah.
So I just need to know, those are two simple examples, but I know that if the dashboard, if I'm not here on a Friday, or if I'm away on business, like, I was away on for nearly 4 months this year, if I can look at a dashboard that says, the fires went on Friday, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything else, really. Well, there's actually 3 or 4 measures that we have.
Yeah.
So I know on Monday it should look like a certain thing, on Wednesday it should look like something else, and on Friday. And we've got those 3 things. And they just report on that, and then I get and then they can just, if it's a failure, they can just say, failed on this day because of this. We were short-staffed or whatever.
And that might be all you need.
Yeah.
But if there's a pattern, because I think this is one of the big elements for me as a leader that I've learned over a long time now, is that I don't care about events.
No. So what's behind
I care
it?
about patterns.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it almost doesn't matter how big the screw up is
Correct.
that a person makes, or how much they fall below the target, or whatever. If that happens once, even a couple of times or sporadically, I can live with it.
Yeah.
But patterns are going to attract my attention.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
If I see a pattern of under delivery on something, or a pattern of behavior, or a pattern of mistakes.
Yeah.
Same with humans. Like if I think about friends of mine who make stupid mistakes in their life or whatever, I don't write them off and think like they've got bad character or whatever because they made one stupid mistake.
Yeah.
I look at that and go, it's an event. We're all capable of it.
Yes.
Right? But if I see a pattern of that behavior in their life, then I'm like, okay, that person actually has some kind of decent character deficit that they're going to have to solve, But yeah, so I think as a leader, it's patterns that should attract our attention.
Yeah, because then you can see there's something, we're constantly not achieving this thing because of these reasons, short staff.
And if as a leader you're not diving in on that, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the challenge, is because you're kind of frowned upon by your team for diving in, because you're supposed to just be empowering them. But the truth is, and I think I would say this to any leader, and I hope any leader that's hearing this that feels like they're being told by their team what they're allowed to dive in on would hear this, that if there is a pattern of missing delivery targets or missing KPIs or missing something in your team, and you don't dive in, then that's the failure.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what leaders instinctively know, this is how we do business. This is the system I developed, or that we have developed. That we do this, and this is how we do business, and it's and you want to control that. There's a sense where you do want the next generation to challenge it and to question it, but you actually want to first identify what it is and make sure it's being done, and then let's question it and challenge it and pull it apart, and maybe we might change that.
That's saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think either of us would go, that means leave it alone. No. What it means is, if it ain't broke, in my mind, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't replace it. Test things. And then show evidence that there is a better version. And away we go.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
just because it ain't broke doesn't mean it can't be improved.
No.
I mean, you've spent most of your career improving things that weren't broken,
Yeah.
right? And that's
100%.
it's obviously the job. So
So I think leaders should control. They should retain control of those things that they know makes their business a success.
Yeah.
They should never. They should hand it on and not have to be doing it themselves. But they should never. They should identify what those core things are. The way that makes your business unique.
yeah,
Your processes unique. Your
Yeah.
people. Your culture. Your culture in particular.
yeah,
That's the thing I will not. I will never delegate fully to anybody.
yeah,
And you have to fight for it all the time. And so I'm often having to fight for those key things.
Yeah.
No, we do this for a reason. And often you're like, oh, when did we stop that?
yeah,
Oh, we stopped that 6 months ago.
yeah.
What?
We knew that it worked. Yeah,
And, so the team know now that never gets stopped without a big conversation.
and getting clear on your principles. And I'd love
Yeah.
to hear some of the principles that you have, that you may or may not have words around, but that I know you'll be able to kind of demonstrate. Like I was in a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, and there was a conversation where they were talking about a person who is a leader in the business that is just a middle manager kind of person who is not a good cultural fit,
Right.
right? And then they were talking about how this person, this person just employed someone on their team,
Oh, yes.
who the person above them didn't think was the right person, but they went they wanted to back the person, right? So we sat down and I went, so a person who's not a good cultural fit got to make a hiring decision. Wouldn't we want a principle as an organization that says we don't let people who we are concerned about from a cultural perspective make any hiring decisions?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's very clever.
So they may
Yeah.
still be a manager in the business.
Yeah.
But I think one of the first things we should be retracting is going, hey, I'm concerned about that, because we should be open with people, right? Brene Brown says clear is kind. We should be clear.
Yeah.
So we should be like, I'm concerned about how you do this, how these things work, how you lead, da da da. And because I have a concern at the moment, I'm going to involve you in the process, but I'm making the final decision on who we hire, because as an organization, when we've got cultural concerns, we don't allow that person to make a hiring decision. So that's a principle, right, that we can then own, and seems pretty obvious, really. I mean, everyone in the room, when we talked through it, was like, yeah, of course we don't want somebody who's not a clear cultural fit making decisions about who joins our business. What are some other principles that you've found useful or that have become part of your leadership?
Oh, mate. Well, I'm actually stuck on what you're saying because I'm connecting it to several other conversations I've had with in business and with outside of, even just in terms of marriage and relationships, around people's unwillingness to have to be clear, because they can't see a way to be clear and be kind. They haven't developed those own skills within themselves. They get angry. It's always a heated thing. It's always terrible. Or they're so harmony focused. They just cannot have those clear conversations. There's some interesting stories I want to talk about that I could talk about with that. And you see it within marriages, within expectations around all sorts of things. And they're just never communicated. And so it ends up in separation and divorce because it just wasn't talked about,
And that's, this saying has been on my mind for a couple of weeks now, because I think it's so true of so many things, but it's said about divorce. But I think it also applies to the wrong people and messy exits of businesses and all of that stuff, which is that thing of like, how does a marriage fail, or how does a business fail, or how does an employment relationship fail? It's always the same. Slowly at first and then all at once.
Yes.
I love that saying, slowly at first and then all at once.
All at once.
Because the slowly at first is the sweeping it under the rug, the pushing it to the side. They're trying to focus on the positive because you don't really know how to, but then it all hits this critical mass where you can't get around it anymore. And at that moment, it all happens all at once. And then it's a PG if it's an employment thing, or it's a messy divorce, or it's whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Clear as kind.
yeah.
I like that. And it's, whether you like Trump or not, it's that idea of peace through strength. That we actually achieve peace by being strong enough. I'm not saying Trump thinks this with war or whatever, but the idea is this: I'm clear. This is what I stand for. This is what I expect. This is what I need. So being strong with people, and being strong in terms of this is the system that we have. Feel free to be innovative as you can around us. Just go hard. Just put your maximum effort into it, and maybe let's keep improving that system. Let's just keep improving it. But this is what's important.
Yeah.
The culture of all the things in your home
Yeah.
and at work, if you are not clear on what the culture is and what it means to be a part of this unit,
Yeah.
So as a leader, if you can't do it, you need someone who you can delegate it to. Do you think you can delegate that?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know that that's right or wrong, but I can't imagine effectively delegating that without, because at that point I feel like you're delegating
Your actual job.
your job, your duties, and feels like it's a core lesson. Another way of thinking of it though would be, do I think there's anybody who doesn't have the fundamental skill set to get good at it?
Yeah.
No, I believe everybody has the fundamental skill set to get good at it.
Yeah.
If you're a leader, you probably have some communication skills. And that is all that's required.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
And it definitely takes time to sort of you push. I mean, you would have done it. You're going to push the boundaries a little bit. How far can I push this relationship without breaking it?
Yeah.
An old pastor, Grant Souter, that used to be my pastor,
Yeah.
he used to say, you can't drive a 10-ton truck of truth over a 5-ton bridge of relationship.
Yeah.
That's such a good way of thinking about it, because you're trying to but that doesn't mean you should wait. Don't drive any truth until you've got a 10-ton bridge.
Yeah.
It means just drive a 5-ton where you've got a 5-ton bridge.
Yeah.
So week one, when you've got a new employee in your team or a new person or a person's moved roles, because that's another critical point of failure for people. When you have that lift and you've got a 1-ton bridge, drive a ton of truth over it. Make sure you do. Be clear, be kind, whatever. And then when you've got a 10-ton bridge, make sure you're driving 10 tons, constantly letting that kind of candor build in the relationship. Because, I mean, this morning I was talking to a CEO of a company that I'm on the board of, and I told him a couple of things that concern me. We've worked together for a long time. We've built a very, very strong relationship. But I told him a couple of things that concern me pretty openly without trying to package them just right.
Yeah.
And he went, oh man, I really need to give that some thought and think on that. And he goes, there's a couple of things that have concerned me lately about you as well. And he goes, can I share them? And I said, yep.
Yeah.
And then he just landed it straight at my door, like the stuff that he's been watching, patterns.
Yeah.
Not a couple of events, patterns.
Interesting.
And they were true. They were right.
Yeah.
And so both him and I go away from that conversation ready to work, to learn and grow. Because we've built the relationship to sustain that. And I think that's the goal. It doesn't matter where you're at today. It's like anything in business or in family or leadership.
Yeah.
I think we miss this in family sometimes.
Yeah.
Where are you? Where do you want to be?
Yeah.
What's it going to take to get there? That's all it is.
That's all it is.
And it's family as well, for sure, in that space. And I heard someone say once, John Maxwell, he said, everything you want is uphill from here. So as long as you're aware that what you want in your family is going to take work and it's not going to be easy, it's going to be uphill, that's fine. And I've had this conversation with Isaiah, who my son, and with Geneva, where I'm like, what we want as a relationship as you grow up and become adults and stuff is uphill from here.
Yeah. So you mean work?
It's going to be work.
It's going to be time.
And so I'll do my bit.
Yeah.
I'll carry some difficulty and frustration, if you'll do the same.
Yeah.
Because the net outcome is that we'll have a stronger relationship. Because if we take the easy road, it leads to peace right now and nothing in the future.
I think that was my peace through strength idea. You're right. It's saying if peace now is not peace later.
No. Yeah.
You actually
it can be the enemy of peace. Like.
Yeah, you almost need the conflict,
Yeah.
but not unhealthy conflict. It's just people yelling at each other. It's I want the culture to be better.
I love there's a
Yeah,
I feel like this is the hour of quotes now. But there's a guy called Pete.
sponsored by.
Yeah, there's a guy.
Almighty.
We've got to send this to the Almighty
We
people.
should, yeah.
There's a Pete Rowlands is a guy from Ireland, so I love listening to him because his accent's great.
Yeah,
But he says war is the inability to have conflict.
yeah, yeah,
So he's like, conflict is this positive exercise of working through something.
yeah,
War is what happens when you can't do it anymore.
yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
think it's really valuable. And
Yeah.
and then he talks about the word confront.
Yes.
So should I be confrontational? Should I confront something? And he goes like, literally the word means, when you break it down, it means to turn your face towards,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so the question is, what are you turning away from
Yeah.
in your relationship, in your marriage, in your relationship with your kids, or in your workplace, that actually what's required today is to turn towards it, turn your face towards it.
Yeah.
And then how you turn your face towards it
Yeah.
is pretty important.
Yeah.
Because if you turn your face towards it, wanting to be heard,
Yeah.
wanting to be right,
Yeah.
wanting to get your frustrations out, like you're going to
Yeah.
end up maybe in war.
Yeah. Yes.
But if you turn your face towards it, wanting to find connection,
yeah.
wanting to listen,
And
wanting
expecting a brighter future.
yeah, all of those things,
Yeah.
then the person will feel that
Yes.
in the approach.
Yeah.
And my wife, so Sarah, my wife is phenomenal at that. When she confronts with this kind of desire to connect, to build a
Yeah.
bridge, work through it,
Yes.
and I can feel it. It's such a valuable thing. I'm not as good because I usually feel like I just want to be heard and I want the other person to go, "Oh, you're right,"
Right. Yeah.
which is more challenging.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Yeah, man. I think this is a problem for so many businesses,
yeah,
and people and leaders, and I often see it in the home, and there's almost a sense of, yeah, nobody's leading anymore because nobody's leaning in.
yeah,
It just feels like the relationship's got so you can't have that conversation.
yeah. And that's when you're done, right?
Yeah,
like when
you're
you
done at that
can't
point.
communicate,
Yeah,
you can't move forward.
yeah. So you're better off, even in that moment, constructing time and not selling it, but saying, hey, there's something we need to talk about. We need to make some time together to talk about some stuff that's really important for this
Yeah,
thing.
I think communicating, because there's two kinds of communication.
Yeah.
There's lots, but you can communicate without help,
Yeah.
or you can communicate with help.
Yeah.
And I would say whether it's at home, because it's the same thing probably, or at work.
Yeah.
If you're early and constant, you can communicate without help,
Got it.
right?
But if it's
But once you get to a certain point, you need a counsellor.
Yeah, because
and
it's
maybe
just
that's
too big.
And for some people listening to this, that may be
Yeah.
where they're at. I think
Yeah.
you've probably been there. I've been there at home.
Yeah.
Or at work, you need a mediator.
Yeah.
And I've been there too.
Yeah.
That's a signal, often I would say,
Yeah.
that you haven't been communicating early and often.
Got it.
Because early and often,
Yeah.
you can usually do it yourself.
Yeah.
And creating that environment for
Yeah.
genuine feedback and openness. Yeah.
And going back to the clarity thing, so much of it is just understanding what is this culture?
Yeah.
What are the things that we do?
Yeah.
So you can think about it from home or work perspective, but what do we want our home to feel like?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a great question to ask your partner.
It's great.
They might just yell and scream at you, and because you haven't talked about it. You know, if it's been left, that conversation comes far too late. You might need that inside of a mediation. But, and again, what do we want? What do we want work to look like? What does it we want it to feel like here at work?
And it can lead you to principles instead of policies
Yeah,
or rules.
yeah,
So I think one of the coolest stories of humanity is
yeah,
the movement in and I think there's a few religions that have similar things, but the movement in the kind of Christian worldview
Yeah.
from an incredible number of rules
Yeah.
and policies
Yeah.
in the Old Testament
yeah,
to principles of love the Lord your God,
Yeah.
with all your heart,
Yeah.
and your neighbor as yourself. And if you do this, that's what Jesus said, like if you do this, you fulfill all of the law. Because two principles were sufficient to replace hundreds and hundreds of laws. And I think the home can be the same.
Yeah.
Because if kids have to learn, what does dad think about this? What does dad think
Yeah.
about this? And then when dad's gone, what use is that?
Yeah.
But if they can learn some core principles, and workplaces are the same, some core principles of how you think and how we make decisions, then every so often there'll be like a correction, but it'll be minor. And so just, Agoge was a good example when I was there of replacing policy with principles. So one of them was credit card policy.
Yeah.
It was pages and pages long. You can use it for this, you can't use it for that. If you're doing this, then you have to get this, and you have to blah, 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 blah. And we replaced it with principle, which was always act in the best interest of Agoge.
Yeah.
And so then at the end of the month, they're still getting signed off. But it enabled leaders to have a conversation about spend
Yeah.
in ways that was far more fruitful.
Yeah.
Because sometimes $50 spent on breakfast with a client is really valuable.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Why were you doing it? What were you hoping to achieve? And was it in the best interest of Agoge? Because if it wasn't, it's just spending.
Yeah.
We
should talk about zero-based budgeting.
Oh yeah. What's zero-based budgeting?
Can we park that for a sec?
Yes.
So I just want to thinking back to the family, but I do want to talk about zero-based budgeting. But applying this idea of principles and routines, maybe the routines that we do at work that make us successful. I've been thinking at home because, like typically on a Monday night, I was saunering with my siblings on a Monday night.
Yeah.
We'd all get together and sauna. But then what happened? I've only got 3 kids at home. I've got 3 that have left, and but then one of them started coming home on a Monday night for dinner.
Yeah.
And my wife was the one who said to me, "What? You can't go to, you need to make a decision." She basically said to me, "You need to make a decision. Your daughter is here on a Monday night. You don't see her. If you go for a sauna, you're not spending time." And that was really hard for me because I really liked sauna night on Monday night. Now the thing is, so I stopped going to sauna night, and now she's bringing a boyfriend, and then my other daughter, who's going out with your son, is. So they're all turning up.
We will unite the clans.
Yeah, that's right.
No pressure.
And so this Monday night thing's become this really cool. We're watching movies and they're hanging out and doing cool stuff. And I'm thinking, man, Monday night, I would not miss Monday night for anything now. I've had to find another night for sauna night. So we moved it to Tuesday night. And now my son Jack, who is saying to me, "Dad, we need to light the fire. We need to spend..." He basically says he loves hanging out with me. He loves the conversations we have, so we're trying to find another night that we can light a fire once a week, an outdoor fire, and hang out. Because he knows when I light the fire, I'm present, I'm there, I'm hanging out, and we're having some real life conversations. So it looks like it's going to be Tuesday night. So then I'm having to potentially drop my sauna night, and I'm having to make some really hard decisions around what patterns are really important to me right now. So maybe I might start doing morning saunas, but that sounds like a sauna night versus time with my kids. It shouldn't be a hard decision, but they really are, and I think a lot of guys would.
But it's not just sauna night.
Yeah,
it's a movement from family of origin to the family you lead.
Correct, got it.
And at some point, because if you play that out,
Yeah.
at some point that's Jack choosing not to connect with Kenzie and Jess and Luke and Sam because Jack is with his children.
Yes.
Right? Or pushing out, and so it's complex.
That's
because
complex.
it's not just selfish, it's actually family.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
But what you're choosing, I think, is you're choosing your duties within family over just family, because you don't have duties in that other environment like you do with your kids. And I think that's really valuable.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a principle too, right? Like, I think I don't have this principle with the kids, but you're making me think of it now, of like, sometimes together means sacrifice, right? Something like that, where you kind of have this understanding that it's not, hey, can you be here and connect with the family, and that's always going to be an easy decision. Sometimes it's going to mean I'll say no to somewhere else I want to be because that connection requires sacrifice. Particularly as you have more people in a family, it becomes less and less likely that everyone's going to be able to show up.
Yeah.
And no one's saying no to something.
Right.
They're probably saying no to something.
Yeah. For me, it's important having the pattern because I really need to decide to turn up around people. I find being in groups, even my family,
Yeah.
it sounds horrible when I say it out loud, it's draining.
Sure.
But if I know Monday night, I come home, I've somehow protected my mind and I turn up with enough left for that. And so if I know Jack is wanting, as opposed to Julie saying, you should go and spend some time with Jack now on around the fire.
Yeah.
Randomly, I'm like, oh, damn it, I just don't have enough space sometimes for that.
Yeah. There's
And
a good
both-
energy offset for you too, of like, it seems,
Yeah,
of there are things that bring you energy. So if you align them with the people bit,
yeah,
so sauna's a good example, it seems like, for
yes,
you,
it is.
where you physically and physiologically get so much benefit from a sauna
Yeah,
that even though it means lots of like the people connection,
Yeah.
there's an offset.
yeah, there
Because
is.
like when you come to our place on
Yeah.
a Sunday night,
Yeah.
every couple of weeks,
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Is like you're
Yeah.
like me, you've still got this kind of outflow of energy towards people,
yes,
but you're also being fed.
yeah, it's definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that works well.
yeah, which is cool, eh? And it's
Yeah.
cool that you've found that,
Yeah,
found things like that.
yeah. And so Jack and I may end up, it may not be fire night, it may be that we sauna,
Yeah,
at some point.
particularly because you've ordered one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
That's such a good, because you're in, as you say, in a sauna with 1, 2, 3, or 6 people,
Yeah.
and it's just
Or 8.
Or 8 people.
We've done
sometimes.
8.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to you're talking about. I don't know how we got onto the credit card spending.
Yeah. So zero cost
Principles.
budgeting. What
Zero-based budgeting.
zero based budgeting? Sorry.
The alternative is, you would have been here before. Oh, my marketing budgets. I won't refer it to me. Let's to this current business.
Sure.
Previous business, I had, your marketing budget's $1 million, marketing team. So there's been 5% inflation. So now it's $1.5 million.
Right.
And the marketing guys are going, great, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do
Right.
that, and I'm going to do that. And you have no idea how effective any of that is.
Sure.
So a zero-based budget is, your budget's zero. If you want to do stuff, what kind of return on capital can you get from
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
And just
good.
let me know.
Yeah.
Because you could spend $1 million. Maybe we don't have $1 million in budgeting here on marketing, but imagine if, I've said to the guys the other day, if you have a $1 million spend,
Yeah.
if you can produce a return on investment, I'll find that $1 million. We'll borrow it, we'll do something.
Totally.
Because that's massive growth.
Of course.
So if you want to do that show or that thing, or you want to get that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
just tell me what it's going to do for us.
I love that. And I think it's really valuable. And what it leads to is really interesting conversations where you go, no, we can't afford $400 on that thing. But yes, I'll pay $100,000 on that
Yeah,
because you've shown me
yeah.
how it's going to actually make a difference.
It
Totally.
it comes back to that empowerment. They're looking to be empowered.
Yeah.
And so they're asking for a budget so they can go and be empowered. And I'm saying, no, you've got no budget, but you can do whatever you want that you can return an investment on.
Yeah.
And they're struggling to get their head around a little bit, but I think that's how I run the business.
Yeah.
Because we might all of a sudden decide to expand into Belgium next year. I don't know. But if we do, it's not going to be in the budget.
Yeah.
But if I look at it, if we start selling fires and I think, shoot, we need to be on a plane, I'm going to go and spend that money.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain that principle to them because why would I give them a budget and not myself
Yeah.
that says, no, you can't go to Belgium because you've only budgeted
Yeah.
X amount on transport,
What's interesting is,
on travel, I should say.
have you then played that out into delegated authority where you go, because if you're doing that, so I mean one of the benefits of budget historically is you give delegated authority and you go, you've got $1 million budget, you've got the delegated authority to spend within budget. So if you need more, you have to come to me, but as long as you're within budget, you can just go for it. The other model, if I think it through, feels more like it would fit with a delegated authority of a limit of a per transaction. So you kind of go, like, there's zero budget, but here's the ROI type of process you should go through. You should evaluate the ROI of something.
Yeah.
If you're confident it has ROI and it's less than $5,000, you can do it without approval.
Yeah.
If it's over $5,000, you need approval.
Yeah.
Is that how you think about it? Or?
Yeah. I guess
Because you wouldn't want to approve everything.
No, I don't want to be involved in every conversation at all. But like we've had a strategic conversation. For example, let's talk about our Australian market.
Yep.
Australia's going well, really well. The economy, despite things, is being better than New Zealand. So it's kind of it's ridden out these hard times better. And so we've said, hey, let's go and let's get some more exposure over there. Is basically the big wording. The smaller wording is let's go do some shows.
Yep.
So they've looked at some shows, and there's a cost, and the problem is the attendance is fairly low attendance,
Right.
and there's a cost to it.
Right.
And so I'm going, okay, so we want to do this. There's not much attendance, and it's going to cost. Well, let me mention some numbers. It's going to cost 15 grand, and and it's really basically the same. There's not going to really be enough people there to justify it, but we think we should do it. And I'm going, well, you got 15. Okay, so you got 15. You got 20. I don't know how much you need to spend, but just I need a return on that capital employed. So what else could we do? Imagine now you've got 15, 20 grand to spend. What do you think you could do with it? The problem is they actually struggle to imagine. So then I'm saying, well, actually, I've got some really good ideas. So we're not doing a show. We're going to do this other thing. And part of it is I've got Luke here. I've got Ashley. I've got a marketing team. Our business is structured where we do our marketing, right? So a show doesn't utilize those resources. But me doing my own thing in a market, turning up and doing all the Facebook, all the Instagram, all the other type of marketing we can do utilizes my thing, and I can get it. If I go, shit, I'm going to spend. We've already decided we're going to spend 15 grand.
Yeah.
Man, I can probably double that money.
Yeah. At a bottom line.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, that comes back and leans on me to sort of lead all of that, but I guess that's what I'm wanting them to think about more strategically.
And I think a lot of that cost thinking has to be helping educate people in your team as to where the money comes out of.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, like, I'm sure that the team wouldn't do this here, but in some organizations, they'll go, it's 15 grand, so if we sell one fire, we swear. It's like,
that's the mess they do.
They go, or even they'll go, well, a fire costs whatever to make, and so as long as we sell 3 fires, we'll be square. The only place to consider expenses, in my mind, is at the bottom line,
right?
Because everything you spend that's discretionary, is a reduction to bottom line. Therefore, it needs to be a plus at the bottom line. So I look at it and go, if I take a simple business, so recruitment has really, really low margins and EBIT.
Yeah.
So back when I was running a recruitment business, a large recruitment business, we had like a 3% EBITDA.
Yeah.
And so I would look at that and go, we have to bill $100 to make $3.
Yes.
Okay. So if somebody wants to go and spend $100, somebody wants to go and buy a coffee, I go, cool. If that coffee is an investment in growing the business, that's a good choice. Just be aware, you've got to bill $100 to pay for that coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Or more than.
Yeah.
If they wanted to spend $3,000 on being at a show or something, I'd go, cool. Just be aware, if that doesn't lead to 100,000 in sales, then it's not a good investment. We'll go backwards. And those are crazy things to think about.
It is. And that is the principle of zero-based budgeting, that you know what the power is going to be, you know what your rates are, you know what your labour bill is. If you're running a lean business, you know if you scale up, kind of how many labour units you need to.
Yeah.
So you run your budget. You're not going to be completely silly, but outside of those basics, the rest of it's just it's either profit or it's stuff you can use to grow your business.
Yeah.
If you're at home, that's how you run your home budget. It's either savings or you're buying your coffee, you're buying the new car, whatever it is.
And I love that concept, and I love the concept of that I heard recently of at home. Of every bit of money that you invest or save. Is buying a piece of your future.
Yeah, that's right.
And every bit of debt that you take on is selling a piece of your future.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that balance right, what you end up with is you turn around and all of a sudden you realize you've sold your entire future.
Yeah. Yes.
For what? Versus those moments of being able to invest.
Yeah.
And I know that your kids have invested in things, and I know that so has my son. And I think at 17 to be invested in, I look at that and get really excited because he's bought a piece of his future.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is an incredible thing. It's a little bit of
Oh, we're just looking at a fire over there. Set some wood fall out of it. The guys are laughing at it, so that's good.
It's funny. It's actually one of Flair's competitors' fires. They can't hold their wood. So
That's funny. That's what happens when you put a pellet in your fireplace. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think I'm going to utilize that system to help empower my team. It feels like it might be controlling. It could be used to control, but I want to try to do it to empower. Because they could genuinely come to me with an outrageous amount of money.
sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Basically, just whatever.
Yeah,
But just show me the return.
yeah,
Because if they could say, hey, we're going to spend $1 million, but we can get a 30% return on that, I'll be like, okay, well, I can borrow it for 5,
yeah,
6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So let's just go do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. I hadn't heard of it in those terms, so I think it's a really cool way of thinking about it. Because I mean, we all know the government version of budgets, which is I've got this budget, I better spend it, because if I don't spend it next year, they'll give me less, which drives terrible behaviours. So you want to be at the opposite end of that. Yeah, that's cool. Are you excited about 2026?
I am. I think 2026 is going to be an epic year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be truly epic. I think there's a lot of people are feeling negative, a lot of negativity. In New Zealand, you know, you would have seen things that it looks like things are turning. The economy's starting. All the indicators are showing just maybe a turn in confidence and spend. We export, so I'm seeing. I have a lot of confidence in what's going on in the States. I see that being really positive. My team is good. I think I've got the good people doing the right jobs. And I think the challenges ahead are going to be challenges of growth. Yeah.
It's good. I think that's the same for a lot of businesses.
Right.
Yeah. I think 2026 has got all of the hallmarks of being a build year for business, with a whole bunch of lessons.
Yes.
Doesn't
mean it's going to be easy.
No.
How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I think a lot of the conversations I've been having recently are with businesses that have had a hard couple of years.
Yeah.
And so we've been going, how do we embrace an abundance mindset?
Yeah.
Because that's not easy when you've been in the trenches.
100%.
Get away from or reject a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
But do so with wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, and so we take forward the lessons.
Yeah.
But we don't take forward fear.
Yeah.
And we don't take forward an aversion to opportunity.
Man.
Because I think there's this, at the moment it's like, risk,
Yeah.
you know, trying to hold risk at bay.
Yeah.
But we need to, as leaders, we need to have an appetite for risk, because
100%.
risk is where we got to where we are.
Yeah.
And risk is what's going to take us into the next phase of growth.
Yeah.
So I think there's a real lesson there. So abundance mindset, embracing that for 2026 is probably the big challenge I'm trying to keep pushing myself and the people around me into.
I love it, man. I've got some thinking around that, which is a little bit abstract maybe, but been thinking about how our feelings, and thinking about how we medicate ourselves, like with alcohol or drugs or food or whatever it is, to make us sick. It's not because the world's hard, which it is, or necessarily because bad things have happened, although they do, but it's to change how we feel in our heads.
Yeah.
So why don't we just change how we feel in our heads? Yeah. And that's so easy to say, but it's so much harder to do. Yeah. But what if we wake up and go, man, what if I woke up this morning and go, this is the best day of my life?
Yeah.
And what if I wasn't afraid of what's going to, or what if I wasn't affected by what happened to me yesterday and I was able to choose how I felt today? And I think in business, it's definitely, I think that helps us lead better, and people are expecting us to turn up. Man, you look at leaders that are really winning, and they seem to have been winning the battle in their heads better. I don't think life's better or easier or simpler for them. Yeah. But maybe they've winning that battle a bit better in their heads.
Certainly the ones who I look at and go, that's the life that I would want to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
There are
Right.
leaders
Yes, true.
who I see the incredible businesses,
Yeah.
but they seem to have succumbed to the battle.
Got it. I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
but there are leaders that I know we both know and see, who, yeah, they are good men and women.
Yeah.
They're good mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
They are positive contributors to the community,
Yeah.
and they are delivering ridiculous outcomes in business.
Yeah.
Because they're choosing a mindset and an approach to their responsibilities
Yeah.
that is healthy every day.
Yeah.
And I think that mindset leads to good decisions.
Yeah.
You know, because for every negative thing, there's a positive. And, you know, whether it's a negative food choice or a positive one, there's always one.
Yeah.
Things like dopamine,
Yeah.
you know, the answer to dopamine issues with phones and stuff isn't to get away from dopamine. It's healthy ways to engage with your dopamine in your body, right? Like ice baths, which
Yeah.
we know are a massive, like, kind of sustained dopamine release.
Yeah.
It's positive.
Yeah.
And then you're drawn back to it. So even though you'd never think you'd be drawn back to getting into 3 degrees water, Celsius,
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
And you go a few days without one, you start to kind of, if you've been doing it regularly, you crave it.
Yeah.
You know, and when you do it, it's positive for your body. It's
Yeah.
not negative.
Yeah.
I think finding those positive habits is
Critical.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And saunas are obviously the same. Read a news stat about saunas this morning.
Yeah.
That was
Tell me.
amazing. That they can remove up to 80% of microplastics
In your
in your body,
body,
which is amazing.
in your testes,
Well, actually, the article was about how you should technically wear
ice
ice.
cups or
ice
whatever.
your
Ice your
balls.
ball sack.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and there's apparently there's products that can
Ice
do.
nappies. Hey, yeah, I've heard
do
about those.
Really?
Yeah.
Why have you not told me?
I think it was while you were away in Cambodia.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we need to get some ice nappies?
Well, I'm really not concerned about that anymore. But
I'm not trying to have kids. I think it was all
I think
about.
Isaiah might need to start wearing them. No, maybe he shouldn't either. Kids, we're watching.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I think it is all about sperm count and stuff, eh? And
Yes.
performance.
Yes,
Not performance. Performance of the sperm.
correct. Should we
Wow.
change the subject?
Yes,
Yes.
please. But I'm, I will try and get some ice nappies.
Yeah. The health benefits of saunas for sure are just incredible.
Yeah, and then the health benefits of ice nappies.
Ice nappies, yeah. Ice nappies. Who do you think? That's such a marketing.
See, these are the
genius,
bits.
eh?
These are the bits for the people that stay to the end.
Yeah, the ice
Like,
nappies.
because there's not going to be a lot that stay to the end. You
No.
know, like people will bail at some point.
Yeah.
But man, if you stay to the end,
This is it. This is the end.
well, I don't know, but it feels like it's petering off.
It really does.
I'm talking about the year
Oh, the
and the podcast. So,
Oh, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, I think let's finish it up. Yeah, good years. I hope next year's. I'm expecting next year to be amazing. I'm wanting to set up new patterns and routines that help me to be present,
Yeah.
which takes a huge amount of effort, and I think it takes a lot of effort for a lot of people. I think some people just naturally want to spend time with people. That's not me. Is it you?
No, it takes effort. Yeah.
You seem to do it really well.
So do you though. But I think the external versus internal is.
Right, the internal battle again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people like that.
yeah,
Whenever I talk about my kind of version of that,
yeah.
it's amazing how many people nod along, going like, "That's me too," you know.
Okay, final question, and then let's wrap it up. How many people do you think feel they don't fit? Like, have you ever felt that you don't fit?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's uncommon. I feel like people who do feel like they fit, the people who are in that spot where they feel like they've found their slot in every part of their life, they shine when you see them
Right.
because they're so sort of few and far between. I think that embracing that a lot of what we're involved in is hard is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, that work isn't supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
I've never bought into that. If you if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just have not that's just not true, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who that's true for.
Yeah.
I think it's more if you do something you love, then all of the tears and stress and fears
more
and
worth it.
stuff will be worth it.
Yeah.
But it will still be hard, and you'll
Yep.
probably put more into it because you love it.
Yeah.
So you'll have more stress than anything
Yep.
else. If I was to go work as a barista right now, which I've thought about many times in my life, I don't think I'd have a lot of stress in my life
Yep.
because
Be much easier compared to what you're doing currently.
yeah, and also because on a stressful day, I just wouldn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if people wait longer for their coffee, I wouldn't care.
But you may not be getting the joy and the achievement and success out of it.
I care a heap
Yep.
about the things I'm involved in, and that
Yep.
means that there's going to be tension and stress, and
Yep.
and so that's always going to make me feel like, do I fit?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, back to what you're saying. I think for me, one of the areas in which I feel like I fit least is that I operate in spaces where I'm really blessed that a lot of people have a desire to connect with me.
Wow.
There are a lot of people connected to things I'm connected to.
Got it.
And so it's not an exaggeration to say that, I could go and engage with 1,000 people tomorrow in different businesses I'm involved in.
Wow.
And they might even know who I am.
Yeah.
But the concept of that exhausts me, and I go like, I wish there was a way to run significant businesses where it didn't require me to have significant numbers of people that I have to have a relationship with. I value them, but I don't know how to show it
Yeah.
because I forget people's names.
Yeah.
Like, I forget so many people's names, and that communicates a lack of value. But I value them so much. My brain doesn't work in that way.
Yep. Interesting.
I took that in a really weird
No, that's
direction.
fine. I was thinking about it, and I was talking to my son the other day about this because he's got some big visions. If he wants things that he wants to achieve, and I asked that of him, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't." His answer was, I said to him, "Do you feel like you fit?" And he's like, "No." And I said, "Yeah, I think to fit with the majority, because I think the majority have given up on their dreams, and they've given up on purpose, but if you want to achieve something great, and you want to be significant, and that there is a sense where you walk into a room and you just don't feel like you fit." And I was just trying to encourage him to say that's actually, I think anybody who thinks they're trying to make a difference or do something, you probably
the journey.
Probably the majority is that there's probably more people than you realize walking around thinking I don't fit. And,
For sure.
Yeah. And for me, that was a nice little revelation because I've always felt like I didn't fit. And then he was wisely said, "Well, but it would be nice to have a small crew of people around you where you do fit." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's what family's all about."
Yeah.
And some good friends, and choose some friends around you that you fit, but they're also trying to help you to be better. You know?
Yeah. And I often think when you get it, when you do feel a bit introspective like that as a leader, it's maybe a good sign sometimes that you don't have a hand down to the next generation of leaders as much as you can. And I don't mean in our own organizations, I mean beyond that, because I know for me, a lot of my opportunity is the result of people who took the time to go for no reason. I wasn't working for them, but to go, I'm going to input into this guy.
Yeah, nice.
And I don't do enough of that. When I'm doing that well, and I'm having those catch-ups with people for no benefit for myself, no one's paying me to do it, just because I want to see them grow and give them whatever help I can.
Yeah.
I stop thinking so much about me
You,
and where I fit and whether I fit and all that, and I feel more like I'm contributing.
Love it.
But I think the last couple of years there's been a lack of that for me.
Interesting.
And I think about these guys that have reached down and really helped me in the past, and I think, how did they identify me?
Yeah.
And how do I identify that next person? You know, like in their 30s or 20s or whatever, because I don't think I've got anything to add. I don't know what you're like, but I don't walk around going like, oh, he'd really benefit from an hour with me a week. I think he'd probably be like, why is this weird older guy wearing Jordans and wanting to meet with me? You know?
Yeah.
But the truth is there is something you can add. And so having the confidence and the ability to identify those people and go, hey, would you value a bit of time? Because if you would, I'd give it. I feel like that's some of the antidote to...
Yeah. Well, I value your time.
I value your time.
Thank you. No, honestly, man, people love having when you're on the podcast. So thanks for making the effort this close to Christmas.
It's cool, man.
Loving having you guys in our lives. It's funny because I think in one of the podcasts we talked about how we don't sauna together, and then we made the mistake of inviting our kids to the sauna.
Yeah.
And don't do that. Don't do that. Because now the kids are dating.
Yeah. And now we're saunaing every couple of weeks.
We cannot sauna.
I know. And this sauna coming up,
Yeah.
unless you just randomly go overseas like you've been doing lately.
Yeah.
This sauna coming up, it's gonna be the week before Christmas, Sunday before Christmas. We're gonna sauna, ice bath, use the pool and stuff, and then we're gonna walk down to the Christmas lights.
Oh, I love it.
With hot chocolates probably.
Oh.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Or whiskey.
Maybe whiskey. I've got some Japanese whiskey.
I'm trying to be good, but that we would not be good that night.
Yeah.
We don't have to be bad.
No.
But that idea of, I love it, man.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great way to end the year.
Yeah, it will be fantastic.
Yeah.
So thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
thanks
you.
everything.
All right.
Here's to a good 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Almighty.
6-7. No.